can we talk about something really quick?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about this really quick. God is not instantaneous like alcohol is or drugs. How many times have you heard that? Can we put can we just smash that one time? Can we just let everybody know that
Okay,
that
on the top,
may not be the case?
Yeah, on the topic of God, there's two things. On the topic of conceptions as well, there's one thing I want to smash there too. But on the and then I guess correct me if you have a different idea. But whenever people start saying things like you can believe in whatever you want, even that doorknob or that couch, and I find that to be not true.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here's the start of that, right? Mm-hmm. The start of that is as someone comes in, they have no fucking idea what they're getting themselves into, right? And so they say, hey, that doorknob is something maybe it's easy because it's tangible. I can see it and feel it, right? But then comes the problem of our prejudice. Mm-hmm. If I get a doorknob or a rock, I'm going to throw that rock and say, what now?
Yep.
What are you going to do now?
Yep.
And it's not like, hey, let's not start there. It's like, hey, let's really get down to the bottom of this. Mm-hmm. That rock, it's been here longer than you for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw it. Where you going to go get it? Mm-hmm. I'm going to take it with me. I'm going to take it with me. Now what? Mm-hmm. So the bottom of it is, what kind of prejudice do I really have? What kind of fear do I really have that is driving my decision to just hold on to something that I can feel, touch, and say, that's it. Mm-hmm. What if, when I really like the question in the book about being open to God is everything or nothing, right? I'm not, I really don't think that the or nothing, I think the ultimatum, is it an ultimatum? It's not an ultimatum.
No, that would be, God is either everything or he is nothing would be an ultimatum.
What a hell of a choice to make.
Absolutely.
What a hell of seriously, you got to be so open-minded to that, right? And it's for me, I was extremely willing to believe in something like that, right? But it's what does that really mean? We get to the point of just getting down to conception and prejudice, and we start seeing well, if God is everything, because that's hell of a question. Can't even wrap our head around it, right? So I say, give me that rock. I'm going to throw the rock. Now what? And they say, oh, well, I think I'm going to, and I've had people do this to me because we've talked about it. It's a very common thing. And I say, oh, well, it's that bumblebee. Boom, smash the bumblebee, right? No, I didn't really kill a fucking bumblebee, but then the doorknob, right? Okay, I'm going to unscrew the door. Now what? And I just keep asking them, now what? And I'm like, you are opening your mind so much. You're every time we talk about this or that or this thing, you're opening your mind even more. What if it was all just a belief system? What if a belief system, when we're talking about a conception of a higher power, and you determine it to be this in this category, was as simple as just believing that or being open-minded to it? And what if we can take that same amount of willingness and put it over here into something maybe a little bit more powerful than that? Maybe something a little bit more broad like that, than that, and it's not just narrowed down to this one thing I can see, feel, touch.
No, because even on the topic of God is either everything or nothing, then God is everything that I see and everything that I touch.
Isn't nothing still something?
Nothing still something?
If everything is everything, then
there is no
everything
such thing
is also
nothing.
Nothing.
What is nothing though?
Well, that's where you get into okay, self-driven. Still wondering a bunch of things, right? What's the purpose of my life, maybe, Hard question.
Well,
right?
Until you look at the 12 traditions.
Well, anyways, not to go into the 12 traditions, but yeah, what do they even say in the book? Okay, if we're going with that or nothing part, then we arise out of nothing, and we're going nowhere.
And we're going nowhere, and we're spinning aimlessly.
And look, that is okay.
Yep,
that is completely okay. If that's where somebody wants to lie in the idea that we are simply born out of
nothing,
or nothing, but just cause. Right. Let's just say that. Just cause, and then we just do things for a number of years, about 70, 80 years, right? Maybe more, and then we die. That's okay. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
Right? So we get into this idea now here in recovery where we are in need of a higher power, though. That's where it's like, okay, look, and logically too, we're in need of more power logically, right? Because I don't have what it takes to control how much alcohol or drugs I put into my system whenever I start doing it.
Yep.
And then when they're out of my system, there's no way in hell I'm staying away from
not do it.
Because at some point, that thought comes of I should go get fucked up, and eventually I go get fucked up. Yep. If it's that first thought or the second, 10th thought, I go do it, no matter how much power I thought I had.
No matter. So no matter how the strong the desire was to not do it in the first place.
Absolutely. And I had that resolution that like very, very, very sure that I wasn't going to go get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you waking up in the morning, like you said, right? I wake up and I say, I'm not going to get high.
Yep.
5 minutes later, I'm going to go get high.
Or my cooking
Your cooking one, that's a whole nother story, bro. Let's save that. We need...
We'll keep it in pocket.
Yeah, we'll keep that in the pocket. But, so we get into this part where we need a desire. Or not need a desire. We need a higher power.
Yes.
Right, logically. And not to define it on a certain creed. We just literally need more power.
Yep. And the easiest way that it was explained to me was that because I remember being in Phoenix house and like talking about this need, or like I can do it for my mom, I can do it for my siblings, I can do it for all these reasons. And it's like, okay, well, if you could have done it for those reasons, then why didn't you?
Right.
And why are you here?
Right.
So it's like there or ergo, it didn't work.
Isn't it funny how whenever we get into recovery, whether we're in treatment or not, like all of these other things become important now? Oh no! I gotta get to the job. I gotta get to the wife or the husband or the kids. Yep. Like I gotta do this, and it's like, really? Because the last 6 years you were fucking it off.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people relate to this, but it was like, okay, when I'm not with my family, I want nothing more to be with my family, and then when I'm with my family, I want nothing more but to not be with my family.
Sprinkle a little bit of alcoholism and drug addiction in there. It gets real rowdy.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah, real rowdy, real quick.
So. Coming back to my question of God being instantaneous, like alcohol or drugs or not, what I was getting to, when we were talking about,
that's right.
Yeah, whenever we were talking about conception and stuff like that, and just belief systems here and there, the problem with this rock being my higher power is that I can throw it and now what?
Yeah, right.
And so what underlies that belief of this rock will do it for me is that I'm fearful about something else, whatever that is, doing it for me, because I can't see it, I can't feel it. Okay, so my prejudice and my belief systems are, I'm upset that I can't see, we'll just call it God. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right? God, yeah. Okay. I'm upset that I can't see God. That's a belief. That is prejudice.
Yep.
Right? What if, and hear me out, what if I was willing to be willing to believe that everything I see
is God.
Everything, right? What if I'm willing to believe that everything I hear is God? What if I'm willing to believe that every time I sit in any kind of prayer, meditation, or just quiet time, that if I want that direction, it comes. And if I want the answer, it's there. What if in those belief systems, the other belief systems did not exist? Right? What I do know is this, like, I'm scared or I'm upset that I can't see God is killing me. It is straight up killing me, And so I have to live in the other side, but I have to be willing to live on the other side.
Over in step 2, it talks about like we're going to keep a hold of these theories. It's used the word gadget. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
The readiness to change our point of view and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I was meeting out with a sponsee the other day. I don't remember if I was telling you about this or not, but I was meeting with a sponsee the other day, and we're talking about how like the gadget, right? And the gadget is God, right? Yeah. And so, or the gadget is my belief system, right? Yeah. So like, say I have the PS1. Yeah. And 22 or however many years later, the PS5's out, and I'm still hanging on to the PS1. Doesn't even work anymore. Hasn't done anything for me for a lot of years. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it. It will work. It will work eventually. Here's why. Yeah. And then like every time I plug it in, doesn't work. And I'm like, no. You don't understand. Like I need this. I need this PS1. And it's like, well, like are you open to the possibility that maybe the PS5 will work for you?
Dude, or even something even simpler than that, right? You take a look at when you break a phone, how quick do you fix it?
Real quick,
right?
In a hurry.
Can't live without it.
Not at all.
Right? Crack a screen, I don't know. In early sobriety, actually, I didn't have that kind of bread, so I dealt with a literal like broken in half phone for a little bit and tried to make it work until it didn't. Shout out skateboarding and bailing and breaking my phone, but nonetheless, like I am so quick to go get my phone fixed. Why? Because my phone doesn't work. And so the part that you're talking about in the book, why don't we take that same readiness to change our point of view? Why don't I do that? What would it look like if I did? If this stuff here is killing me and it doesn't work, take that same readiness to change my point of view and just be willing to have the experience. Right? You know what? I'm willing to trust whatever the fuck this thing is.
Yeah. And like what I'll say sometimes is like, okay, let's look at this like this, right? So say you're going to keep that old belief system, right? But say you change your belief system, right? Worst thing that happens is nothing happens. The best thing to happen is your entire life changes.
Yeah.
Like those are your options. Either nothing changes or everything changes.
Right. Worst case scenario, you are where you are right now.
And nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Best case scenario, your whole life gets better.
Yeah.